Can we actually just think about the fact that this is the first time in we're getting close to a decade of My Hero Academia, all things considered. What, 9 years this show's been going on, including the main show. And every time this show has come back, it's always come back on Saturday. Like 4 a.m. on a Saturday. Like you would, if you wanted to, you could feel like a kid again, waking up crack of dawn to watch your favorite superhero show. And Vigilantes came out and said, hey, not only are we going to focus on Vigilantes, your heroes who go against the legal system, we're going to air this shit on a Monday. And it's so weird. Like, I'm actually thankful because of how busy the weekends are this season. But, like, it's so odd. The whole episode, I'm thinking, now I get to feel like a kid on Monday morning, except I don't have to go to school, thank God. But I like this. I remember when this show first started in its manga form, like around season 3 or something, when it was in that area. I remember a lot of people saying that, oh, this has the potential to surpass the main show. Now, granted, where the main show has ended up going in its final season is absolutely incredible, but yeah, I can understand the assessment because I'm not sure if this will stick, but it seems like they're focusing on a smaller, more concentrated cast. And if so, you could really flesh out the characterization much better than you can when you have 50 characters to work with. And while I do think the main show did fairly well with the amount of characters it had, there's definitely a couple dozen you can pick out and say, yeah, they didn't really do too much past their initial interaction, right? I don't know if it will reach the absolute peak when My Hero has been at its peak. But I think, to be honest, it might be a more consistent show from start to finish either way, because it seems a little more focused. And I like the characters. We got a guy named Knuckle Duster who literally is just like, these hands are rated E for everyone, and your face is everyone. The dude just has no damn chill. And I like all three of the characters we're focusing on so far. I like the cameos, and, you know, because we're still in the My Hero world, we can see Eraserhead, we can see Deku's mom, we can see all these people. And honestly, I'm really excited to see what they pull off, because this one, to be honest, I still remember my initial thoughts when I first tried, because when My Hero started, I read like the first 7 chapters. I said, yeah, this one has a lot of potential. But I gotta be honest here, I'm feeling more potential with this one. But I really love the main show. So I'm gonna wait before I say, oh, this is better than the main show. It might take me multiple seasons to, if I ever get there. But I will say, this probably has a much stronger start than the OG show, and that's saying something. Of course, though, you want to see my full thoughts on these episodes, support my work, we got the Patreon full and cut My Hero live reactions over there exclusively. So, love the look of this show, really. Like, it looks like My Hero, but it's much more comic book feely. The character outlines, just the shading, like, just look at the opening in general. It's like literally comic panels made into an anime. It's just fantastic. And I think the powers really work for the Central 3. You have like a dude who just beats people up, and I think it works. He's like some 40-year-old vigilantes. He's a cross between Batman meets the Punisher. Like, that's kind of how he looks to me, like maybe with a hint of Daredevil. He's fantastic, and he literally wears brass knuckles, man. And I'm like, that's my guy. Like, that guy has potential to be my best boy of the season. You have Nice Guy, which I gotta be honest, if I had a nickel for every time a superhero was called Nice this season, I'd only have 2 nickels, but it's odd that it's happened twice now between 2B Hero X and this. His ability's actually kind of cool. It's lame and not really great at face value, but I think if you gave him some equipment, it could be really good. Now, granted, did he do a good tackle at the end of the episode? Sure. So he basically can glide. He's a slip and slide. They call him a cockroach at points, and I can kind of understand why. But I'm just thinking, like, if he had, like, some thrusters, right? Like, I'm thinking of some of the characters that we've seen with their different equipments. Like, Deku's had equipment to help compensate for shortcomings, or literally a suit that lets you just, you know, be you and go as fast as you can. If he had some thrusters with that pose, he could, like, be flying down the road. And I assume we'd probably build into something like that. But either way, like, his generic, like, I can move slightly faster or slower than your average bicycle is pretty humorous. And then you have Pop Step, I believe is what they called her. I think she's just a frog. I think she can bounce really high. Just especially based on the bounces she did during her show. And to be honest, The thing that probably caught my eye the most is the fact that I'm genuinely interested in the kind of like smaller side villains. So there's these three goons who continuously jump our boy, right? He's also an All Might fanboy, so of course, you get that classic like, okay, just like Deku, except Deku went to school. This guy's gonna beat up people in a dark alley. Kind of vibe with that. I like the idea that they all they look solid enough. You have like Discount Wolverine, you have a lizard looking guy, and I like the fact that after they inject this serum, they all amplify. And I think they look like the perfect types of villains you'd want to go up against a little longer than your run-of-the-mill one-episode fight. And I think, while I don't expect them to last forever, I think it kind of works for because this is going to be 26 episodes, but split into two 13 episodes batches. So we get 13 now, wait a season, come back for the other 13. And I wouldn't be surprised if those three are they mess around and they continue to find out all season, or we slowly pick them off one by one. But either way, I like the designs of everything. It's consistent as hell, looks beautiful, sounds great, and I like the characters more as an intro than I did the characters initially in the intro of My Hero Season 1. Not that I had anyone I necessarily hated, but I feel much more connected, partially because I know the world more now, but also I like that they're more adult-oriented. I thought the one guy, Nice, was probably 16, 17, but he's 19, which isn't a massive difference, but the fact that we're dealing with this Batman vigilante guy who beats the living shit out of people, maybe too many people given that he almost beat up a businessman, mind you, but still. Then you have, I assume Popstep's probably similar in age as well, but either way, I appreciate that we're not just with the high school characters, we're young college characters and vigilante drunk uncle. To be honest, it kind of works for me. Either way, though, I like this. I knew I would because I'm a My Hero fanboy, but I was expecting oh yeah, this is good. But I wasn't already being I could kind of understand why when, the first chapter of this one dropped, or, for a while I was seeing a lot of people say this one could surpass the main show. And I'm sure for a lot of people who weren't really the biggest fan of season 1, if they did try this and they came out oh, actually, I like the characters more, they might immediately say that. I'm not. I would need a season or two before I could truly say, is this the superior My Hero? But given that I think it will have a lot less bloat because it's a smaller cast of characters, unless they massively expand it, which is possible. But I think given the more tight, constricted formula that they're going for, I'm not going to be shocked if or when I come out saying this is actually my preferred My Hero product. But if you've been following the channel, I've been covering the show since season 2 on the channel, right? I have enjoyed every season of My Hero to varying degrees, but I've really enjoyed the end game of the main show. I'm just happy that seemingly we might have another show to, once the main show's done, I guess Bones will just keep adapting this, which works for me. You let me know your thoughts, whether if you're a fan of the manga, walked in blind, and, how are you feeling if you were a My Hero fanboy or you didn't like the show to begin with? How are we feeling about this? Because I feel a lot of potential myself. Let me know. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course, ring that bell, and like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. Alright, so today we got Kaneko1110, Ari Hakushi, T-Bag Owens, Kenneth Dade, Daniel Wong, Wayne Odaquist, Chrome Elron, Cillian, and we also have Daniel Sharp, so I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and y'all have a good one.